CSS is a language you can use to control the formatting, presentation, and overall look of a web page, so things like colors, layouts, and fonts. To get an idea of how CSS works and why CSS exists, let's look at some HTML markup that is not using CSS. The markup you see here is displaying a short quote from a fantasy book I enjoyed recently. The HTML contains not only the content, which is things like the quote, the author's name, and the name of the book, but also presentation instructions, stuff like the background color for the page and a font size. This approach can work, as you can see in the output, but mixing content and presentation makes things difficult. Every time I create a new page, I have to remember to set the background color if I want any consistency across a website. And if I want to add additional quotes to the page, I have to remember to set the font size again. Imagine in 6 months if I wanted to redesign a website with a fresh new look, or even just make simple changes like using a different font size for all the quotes or a different background color. I'd have to go through all of the HTML and change these color and font settings everywhere. CSS will allow me to remove all the presentation information from the HTML and leave behind only the content. That makes the HTML easier to maintain because it is only focused on content, but it also makes it easier to change and experiment with different designs. All of the presentation instructions will be in an external style sheet. It's a best practice to use CSS to manage all the presentation aspects of a website, so let's look at a demo to see how it works.